I love this view here. It makes it look like they're facing off face to face. Fortunately, they have this big thing separating them. So
we have to keep them apart, right? They put us in the middle.
Yeah. We're the referee between them. But no, they've all kept their goals. They've had obviously they're having a great time here and really just taking advantage of this once in a lifetime, or for Blaze.JP, second in a lifetime opportunity in participating in the World Championship qualifier.
Again, Klaus, that really speaks to the quality of player for Blaze.JP to show up 2 times in a row, and both times they qualified off of the CWL in-game. I mean, that is some amazing consistency. You know that clan is really, really performing.
Absolutely. I mean, I was thinking the exact same thing, whereas it kind of shows that the system picking these clans is pretty solid. I mean, if you're bringing in similar clans, and there's what, hundreds of thousands of clans out there, and we see the same clan twice in a row. That really speaks a lot to both the clan and the system.
Well, I'm excited for both Blaze.JP and for Zombie Doom, but for different reasons. And now Zombie Doom is going to start things off, Sanguinarius. And again, taking a look at a base that you definitely might want to take home with you, or at least take notes for the way it is laid out. And right away, we got Teslas popping up.
Yeah, and we've said this already, that you don't get a scout. So it was just lucky you found a couple of those Teslas early. The P.E.K.K.A.s handled them fairly well. Remember back in the day when the P.E.K.K.A.s were weak to Teslas, that's no longer the case.
That's true.
So with the attack starting off, it looks like this is more of a direct approach, actually, to your P.E.K.K.A. smash. Generally speaking, the Queen kind of walks around a little bit and then dives in.
No poison spell here, Klaus, and massive archers coming out, so they're going to stall that attack for a few seconds anyway on the way to the Town Hall. Those bowlers going to really wreck everybody else, and nice Warden ability right there.
Nice is a great word, because it was exactly right. The Warden ability really protecting everything, and it was funny that you mentioned, it's like, oh, no poison spell, and there was like 100 little baby troops in that clown castle, so you never know what you're going to get, and I guarantee you Sanguinarius was not planning for that CC.
Nope, that's true. That was an unusual CC and not one that we've seen yet. I don't think we saw a witch in there either. Now the Archer Queen's off by herself. We're going to lose her unless she uses her ability. There it is, but unfortunately she is again by herself. And with those high-level walls, she's not going to get far, and she definitely is not going to be able to take down the Eagle Artillery by herself.
Yeah, well, that Eagle's still standing. This is not looking fantastic for Sanguinarius. I mean, he gets that second star, so that's what you need. That's what you come for when you do these attacks. Notice no one that I'm aware of has gotten a 1-star yet, so that'd be kind of amazing if we go the entire day without one. But there you go. There's a 2-star, and now,
check out
finally, those bats are being deployed, and oh, good freeze. Good
Watch for the second freeze as that they get in range of that wizard tower right there. You see them, the wizard tower is actually distracted by the P.E.K.K.A.
It's distracted by the P.E.K.K.A. I was about to say, we don't even need a freeze.
Oh, I love
it. That was incredible.
That is incredible planning. That is incredible insight, watching every detail of an attack like that. And there is where the freeze spell is needed on the multi-target Inferno and the wizard tower at the top.
I mean, it's hard for me to imagine he planned that, but maybe he did. I mean, maybe he waited just long enough to get the P.E.K.K.A. in there to deploy those bat spells so that one wizard tower did not have to absorb a free spell.
I think
man, that was incredible.
You absolutely have to have contingency plans, the ability to adjust on the fly, to look at things like that, because sometimes slightly unpredictably, units will distract defenses. That worked out really well. Right here, we're just about to 90%, Klaus, and these healers keeping the P.E.K.K.A. up.
That king came over and distracted at just the wrong moment because that Warden was about to kill that X-Bow. But now, finally, the X-Bow goes down, and really there's not a lot of firepower left. I mean, those P.E.K.K.A., given we have enough time, I think the P.E.K.K.A. can probably handle this.
Oh, we're so short on time, though, Klaus. They're trying to get through that wall. 3 of them on that one wall. 20 seconds remain. About 7 or 8 structures, 7 structures left right now. Check out the bowler on the right-hand side getting through the elixir storage.
That bowler may be the MVP. I mean, with that altar, can go down, I believe, in 1 shot. Oh, and a really unfortunate little baby bomb. Oh. That bowler could have taken out that altar, but that little baby bomb ends it. Oh, man, that is going to be a 98% 2-star.
Wow. 2 buildings right there. You're right, the tiny little bomb taking out the bowler, and then right there on the end, the archer tower outside the wall.
So even if that little bomb wasn't there, I'm not sure that was a 3-star, but it was still an extremely high % 2-star for Sanguinarius, even though things clearly didn't go his way in that attack, so that's really good. I mean, that shows you the potential of this attack strategy, and for anybody out there that is a Town Hall 12, or maybe even lower, and you want to try out some attack strategies, copy these compositions, do some friendly challenges in your clan, and have some fun with it.
It's tough. I mean, these attack compositions are more difficult than they might appear.
Well,
I haven't really seen anybody spamming units yet, and although sometimes it does kind of feel like spam in the center, there's so much, like you pointed out earlier, Klaus, to being able to adjust on the fly, and maybe you've got the freeze spell and you're planning on sticking it at one spot, and you put it somewhere else because you see it's not needed. Like, for instance, I didn't even notice there until you pointed out that that P.E.K.K.A. was distracting the Wizard Tower.
It's amazing, this game. There's so many different things that could go completely right and completely wrong all at the very same time. So these players being able to watch the entire field and be able to just make quick, intelligent decisions is definitely an attribute that they take advantage of.
All right, so let's watch Aimer from Blaze.JP moving forward here, opening the first attack for Blaze.JP. Again with that Queen charge. Healers, and we'll see where the Queen heads. Definitely going to take out the defending Queen right away.
Oh, and a good freeze. That's going to take out the enemy Queen. Now she's going to, what's she going to do? She's going to swing around to the right. I'm hoping she'll go for that bomb tower. It was clear that the funnel was meant to force the Queen to go to the right. There she goes. Yep. There she goes.
I really like the use of actually that freeze spell rather than a lot of players would use the ability right there.
And the ability is very valuable.
Right.
So just using one free spell, definitely a little bit less value, or like, you know, cost, a lot less cost than using the Queen ability.
And now the P.E.K.K.A.s and the bowlers are going to move in with the Warden there. You know that they've got nowhere else to go, but right in the opening here, straight for the Town Hall. There is the, was that the Warden's ability? Right as the Town Hall went down. Beautiful.
Oh, no, it looks like he lost a whole bunch of troops there, Galadon. That Warden's ability was a little bit late. Right. Not sure if Aimer missed the button or just had other things going on, but unfortunately, yeah, a lot of his ground troops going down. Now he just has a few balloons there at the bottom. Look at that. He's got 2 rages and a freeze still. So a lot that still can be done, but by missing a lot of his troops, things aren't looking like they're going to go his way.
Speaking of jump spells where you want your troops to go, they all kind of walked away from that jump spell as that, again, the Gigabomb did take a lot of units out there in the core. The Warden's ability was just a split second too late, and now there's just not a lot left and nobody in the core.
This is the first time I feel like we're trying to save the 2-star. I mean, like this attack unfortunately just did not go right, and I think it all comes down to the timing of that poor, unfortunate Grand Warden's Eternal Tome ability. But hey, you know what? There's that 50% as an Eagle Artillery goes down, so that's, you know, that's good. But now it's all about that percentage, and this is going to be a low one for Blaze.JP.
Exactly. This is something they did not want to see. Things, again, went wrong, and there wasn't a lot you could do there. When the units didn't go after that jump spell and you lost a lot of units to the Gigabomb, everybody went towards the outside, and it looks like he's still going to pick up some good percentage here around the outside. The Queen's healthy, the Warden's with her. The P.E.K.K.A.'s kind of tanking for the Queen as well. And nothing's going to wipe out those healers right away. No,
so with one attack in the books for either clan, Zombie Doom does have the advantage with Sanguinarius' attack at 98%. I don't see Aimer getting anywhere near that with this attack. He is running out of time as well. So at this moment, and it's really early to call, but at this moment, Zombie Doom does have the advantage in total destruction, but they are tied up with stars 2-2.
Definitely. It looks like we're actually going to end up in the 70% range, which is a nice save for Aimer. When this looked like it was barely going to be a 2-star, 71% 2-star when all is said and done.
Absolutely. Now from the Klaus news desk here, Team Queso in the back against Dark Unicorns. Team Queso actually has gotten a 3-star with their very first attack, putting them ahead as far as stars per attack goes. So there's a lot going on still.
Actually, I don't think there's a 3-star yet from that side. Yeah, there's an attack underway, and then Team Queso has 3 stars with a second.
Well, thank you, Galadon. He's got my back. Thank you.
It's okay.
2 stars so far. Scratch that. Erase it. Moving on.
We're fully expecting triples back there. That is for certain. But there's an attack actually still underway for Team Queso right now. So far, just 2 stars from those guys. And out here, again, Zombie Doom and Blaze.JP. That a little bit unexpected, as maybe Zombie Doom taking a percentage advantage so far in this war.
Absolutely. Now with this next attack coming in, of course they're planning, they're getting ready to rock and roll here. We're wanting to see 3 stars. I'm jumping the gun because I'm so excited. It's like we saw so many 3 stars in that first war. There was one behind the scenes, so like I'm just itching to be able to start screaming 3-star. But you know, these bases, they're tough. You can't expect a 3-star every attack.
No, absolutely. And again, it's great to see that the bases are holding, and it's really interesting to watch such unusual base designs. Again, check out the 4 expos surrounding the Clan Castle and the Eagle Artillery in this base.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you see all 4 Expos in the center with the Eagle. The Queen is also in there, but look at the sweepers pointing away from the Eagle, pointing, you know, into where you would think it's kind of Neverland. Like, why are the sweepers facing that way? If it were me attacking, I would like to just throw in some E-drags from the northwest corner there and just have some fun with it. It looks like that's kind of what he's doing.
Yeah, notice they're kind of protecting all the splash. You've got almost all of the Wizard Towers on the far right side and the multi-target Inferno, so a really unusual base, and we're seeing somewhat of an unusual attack. Bat Dragon, and here come your bats at the top of the screen, Klaus.
There we go. So that must be what they're trying to defend against. Those bats are super weak against splash damage, and there's a lot of it down there. So let's see what happens here. I mean, with that Town Hall 12 really being the last building out there. Ooh.
Look at all of those bats.
Yeah, that's a lot of bats. But it looks like the 1-star will be gotten soon-ish. Where are you guys at? There's the
ability. Yeah, there they are.
There they are.
And more bats were in there with the Dragon, so some had peeled off, but they weren't able to get all of the Expos down. The Archer Queen was in there defending as well, and the Eagle is still up.
Successfully getting that 2-star, though, so Emery now looking for percentage, looking for possibly a 3-star. He's got a lot of dragons up, but I don't know if there's enough dragons up to be able to grab that 3-star here at this point. I mean, you know, yeah, there's still an air defense.
I think there's just too many air targeting defenses back here, Klaus. Look at the top right of your screen. 2 Wizard Towers, an Archer Tower, 2 Teslas, an air defense, and at the bottom, there's just so many down here. What an unusual base layout to see so many defenses on this right-hand side, and that actually is a really solid defense. You hold to a 58% 2-star, you've got to be happy.
58% is one of the lowest, I think the lowest that we've seen today. So that base, which looked easy, was definitely set up to defend that base, that attack. So, you know, you can give it to Blaze.JP for designing a base that completely trolled not only the attacker, but it kind of trolled us.
Yeah, note to self, copy that base.
Yeah, right. Note to self, back
Great
up in the
job
screen,
by Aimer right there.
snapshot that baby.
That. Yep, so again, I mean, we were just talking about that before this war started, how important defense is, not just offense. The ability to design a base and, of course, test it with your clanmates with those friendly challenges.
That's right. If your clanmates don't know where your traps are and stuff, they can go in, they can attack, they can show you the weaknesses. Give it to your best attacker. Say, hey, you know, if you were to attack this base, what would you do? Let's do some attacks and make some adjustments. Sometimes it's only a 1-tile adjustment of 1 trap that can change the outlook of an attack. And, you know, these guys, you know that they've been doing that with these bases leading up to this big event.
Definitely, and right here we've got the Archer Queen moving in, a Giant and a couple of Wizards trying to do the funneling on the right-hand side, and you heard Itsu speak to that earlier about the value of getting a funnel to be effective without having to use too many troops. The fewer housing space that you have to waste, or spend rather, when you're getting a funnel to be effective for your Archer Queen, the better that the rest of the attack can go.
That's right. You want to leave as many troops as you can for the actual diving into the base, but then you don't want to be too stingy. You know, if you're trying to get too big of a value and you don't get your funnel down, then everything walks around and your attack is over. So you have to be very careful, and of course, lots of practice. You get the feel for that kind of thing as you play this game.
Well, speaking of the feel, did you see how those healers just barely skirted the range of that multi-target Inferno and went towards the inside in the entry after this Town Hall next? But that was beautiful because they just barely missed taking the damage from that multi-target Inferno at the top.
There's that Warden's ability as they approach that Town Hall 12. Are they going to be able to get that little guy down? There it is, but a little late. And a lot of bowlers have died. We've seen that already today. That is going to completely stunt the attack. He's got the 2-star, but the percentage potential is much, much lower now. That
was a mass bowler graveyard at that Town Hall, Klaus. As you're right, the Warden's ability, great to use it early because obviously units are taking damage from all of the defenses in the area and the Giga Tesla, but you've got to be so precise on that timing if you want to maximize the save from damage before it goes down and catch that Giga Bomb.
That's right. I mean, there is the timing of that. I mean, fortunately, the Grand Warden's ability it does take some time. It lasts a while, but there's also those situations where it's that 1 millisecond too soon or too late that can cost you. And in this case, that's definitely what happened. I mean, you know, we're saying, oh, this is so sad, so many things went wrong, but look at that 75%. And that Queen, she's still up. She's okay for now. Come on, Queen, you got this. There we go.
Well, the healers are bringing her back up, so she is on her way. And it looks like, well, no, not quite. Good effort, though, 78%. 78%
2-star for Oshilukun. That is Blaze.JP's 2-star, and it looks like now, yeah, the groups are looking actually very even right now, Renee.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's 4-4 on the match in the background. So the Dark Unicorn still, I would even say a bit struggling, because I was expecting way more of them. But hey, it's still a long day, they can come back. So let's concentrate on this fight for now.
Yep, and Oshilukun right here from Blaze.JP putting up another solid attack, but we just haven't seen the triples happen yet, and it's anybody's war this round, as all 4 clans struggling to grab that first 3-star.
That's right. With all kinds of 2-stars everywhere, don't forget that total destruction does matter if there is a star, ultimately to decide who goes to the playoffs. But we want to see those 3 stars. I don't know about you, Galadon, but I know the guys and the viewers in the comments, they want to see those triples.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what we're all here for. We want to see a maxed out Town Hall 12 get completely wiped out. And you know what's going to happen again. It's just a matter of who and where. As now it's Shift-A-Lot. Speaking of 3-star attackers from the first war, here we go. Let's Shift-A-Lot pull back-to-back jacks, back-to-back triples. This is his shot.
We need those back-to-back triples right here. This is Shift-A-Lot. He's made himself a name for getting that first 3-star for Zombie Doom, and the only for that round last time. So let's see if he can do it again and start off his clan with another 3-star. Maybe it'll start a trend. Maybe he'll triple, and then his clanmates will start tripling, and then this will be a crazy high war. Looks like, oh, he had
just had to use the Queen's ability, and there's the curse of always a giant bomb when you hit the Queen's ability.
Yeah.
As she is up, and you can see the funnel. The E-Dragon went down kind of early on that left-hand side, but this is a little bit of an unusual attack. Queen charged dragons, no bats.
Well, but note that the Queen did find like all of the Teslas, so that's really good. That's a huge advantage for Shift-A-Lot going forward. The dragons, they have a lot of hit points, but the Teslas put out a lot of damage. So it's a good thing that that Queen Walk took out all that, but now it looks like she's kind of wandering off. I would have loved to have seen the Queen kind of dive in and help out with the enemy Queen.
Yeah, no doubt Shift-A-Lot wanted that Queen to go get the defending Archer Queen. That X-Bow right there was set to ground, so it didn't really matter. Now the units, looks like archers again mostly came out of that clan castle, Klaus?
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of like Lava Hounds, Baby Dragon combinations. We're also seeing a lot of just like mass archer, which I find to be quite interesting indeed. I don't think I've ever seen that in a real serious war situation. But Shift-A-Lot has got that 2-star, but with that Queen dying early and just having to use the ability early, I just don't know if the attack has what it takes to go all the way here.
Yeah, it was a well-planned-out attack, but again, the Eagle is one of the last things in there. I think that this attack was trying to take advantage of the X-Bows. Surprisingly, at least 3 of them that I could tell were set to ground, which is something you don't see very often.
Not very often, but remember, this is Blaze.JP. They come all the way from Japan. There's not a lot of bleed over between the English-speaking community and the Japanese-speaking community, so we're going to see things that we're not used to coming out of Blaze.JP, and that's one of them. And notice that that's the second base now that really has truly trolled us.
Klaus, that is such a great point that you point out, and I remember that we saw that last month, and the fact that there isn't this complete overlap of metas. You see a completely different meta from country to country, and they don't really, even though we all share the same game, because they don't share the same language, maybe they're not normally playing the same players as often, you see these really cool different attack strategies depending upon the country, and it's good to bring them all together here, top players from all around the world, and see how they match up.
You can think of this tournament as like the big melting pot where we're kind of revealing all the different metas on base design, on attack strategies, and obviously I think Blaze.JP has a bit of a defensive advantage because of that. Their bases seem to be throwing off Zombie Doom.
Definitely. And here we are going to take a look at Shift-A-Lot's defending base. Missy, or is it Mishi?
Mishi.
Mishi from Blaze.JP up next to attack.
So we do. I was about to say, I double-checked, but it looks like we do now have an official 3-star from Team Queso in the back. While Mishi starts his attack, we do have now a 3-star for Team Queso. Team Queso ahead, 7 stars to 6.
Os give him 3-starred Marco 187's base from Dark Unicorns. So there's your first 3-star of this second round. Again, we're watching Blaze.JP against Zombie Doom, both clans that put up 3 stars in the first round. And again, the Archer Queen with another balloon coming in, Klaus, trying to grab those seeking air mines so that the healers don't grab them.
That was kind of like the opposite of Caster Curse, where we're like, you can do it, and then they don't. That was more like, oh, we got a 3-star. Wait, just a few minutes, boom, there's a 3-star. So there you go.
You just called it, Klaus. That's all there is to it.
Nailed it. All right, so with Mishi starting this attack, looks like we get our first look at miners here, Galadon. One of your favorite troops. I love the miners. the big struggle, and we were talking to Itsu actually, I think before the stream, he was saying the biggest problem with miners is the time. Time is the biggest factor here. So if Mishi can make sure that the timer is his friend in this tag, Queenwalk Miner has a lot of potential.
Well, let's watch, because I specifically remember Itsu mentioned something about a minute 30 to a minute 45, and we are right now at the minute 45 mark. Archer Queen looks like she's going to get, well, she's going to get stuck on that Lava Hound at first. There we go. Lava Hound, Baby Dragon are going to have to deal with that before she can get to the Town Hall.
Looks like a few miners have been deployed down at the bottom, kind of dealing with those Teslas. If all of the miners come in from that side, you know, that might be, do you think that may be like a funneling thing? You know, you're trying to keep the Queen from getting distracted.
Yeah, he's trying to wait for that Town Hall to go down. And then again, try to get the Queen after the Eagle. But okay, there you go. Top of the screen, there's a P.E.K.K.A. Only a minute 15 remains right here, Klaus. Where are these miners?
Ouch. All right, well, with these
Here
base designs, we're talking a lot about Blaze.JP having amazing base designs, but it looks like Zombie Dune's base totally messed up Mishi as well. So this may be, again, the cross meta where they're not used to seeing bases like this maybe. Blaze.JP struggling again, you know, it's good defense.
Yeah, watch the Eagle Artillery as those miners moved in a big, wide wave. That is not what you want. I think that Mishi was counting on the attacking Archer Queen to get that Eagle Artillery down, because if you're going to send in your miners with the Eagle still up, you want the Eagle to be one of the first targets that they go after as the last phase of an attack like this.
That's right, that Eagle does so much damage and can hit pretty much anywhere on the field, except for like if you put it in the far corner, it may not hit the far corner on the other side. I have never tested that. Somebody out there knows.
That's a good point.
But still, like with the miners having to come in so thin, they weren't able to drop defenses quickly enough. And of course, like you said, Galadon, that Eagle Artillery, a huge pain.
And it looks like right around a 70% attack so far. Maybe running out of time before the P.E.K.K.A. can get through another wall. But man, just so cool to watch the defensive base layouts like this. It's bases that we've definitely never seen before. These are not bases that you're going to find anywhere else.
That's your 70% for Mishi. Not, you know, the best percentage that we've seen, but definitely not the worst. And he came and he did what he needed to do. With that 2-star, you know, he puts his clan in an okay position. Both clans now completely tied up on stars per attack.
And interesting what you just pointed out, Klaus, and we were just talking about how great Blaze.JP's bases are doing on defense. If you take a look, Zombie Doom's bases so far, all 3 attacks held to under 80% so far.
Really? Very interesting.
Serious defensive numbers.
So we're seeing probably it's both ways then. Both teams are seeing a different style of base, and they're struggling against. That's what we're seeing here today.
Again, taking a look at Team K, so we were watching them closely, and we're going to get into King Icy from Zombie Doom. And I'm always looking at these bases, trying to pick out what is the point here? What are we trying to defend against? Because oftentimes you'll see a base that's designed specifically to defend against ground or air or even a specific troop.
That's right. You're seeing a lot of multi-targeting Infernos defending against the bat spells. Notice King IC has none of those, so that's, you know, that was pretty specific. But it's hard to tell. I mean, with like the Eagle Artillery in the very center, with the Queen, and we noticed we did say something against that. Like, don't put everything in the middle all together. But, you know, with this particular base, with all the buildings in certain spots, you know, the pathing of everything may just go right around all those things. You never know. I mean, they're very, very specific, and especially the bases that you see fails on, we definitely need to take some screenshots of these.
Exactly. And again, take a look at the defenses and the splash defenses, and you'll notice that there's not really 2 key defenses that are within 1 freeze spell radius of each other. That's definitely something to keep an eye on when you're trying to design a base. You don't want to give your attacking opponents too much of an advantage with the ability to freeze multiple defenses with just 1 freeze spell.
That's a very good point, Galadon. You definitely don't want to give them too much value with your free spells. But, you know, also you got to make it difficult for them. I mean, you can't put the key defenses and the key troops and everything all in one spot because, you know, 1 kill squad and then throw in some Electro Dragons or, you know, whatever, like this attack. You got a lot of bowlers and some P.E.K.K.A.s and stuff. I mean, you got to charge into that Town Hall. You got to get that 2-star. But is there enough to what do you want to say, spring around to the top there?
Well, you notice right here that King Icy had to use the jump spell in order to get those bowlers to go back into the inside to get the Town Hall down. And now what is going to happen here, although he has gotten the 2nd star, the bowlers are left with a massive number of walls to get through to get to the rest of this base, to get to, say, that far Inferno Tower or even the Eagle Artillery.
And that's the wisdom of having a centered Eagle Artillery. I mean, if something does go wrong, and you don't get your jump spells into the middle, man, that Eagle Artillery is just going to be hammering down on the troops as long as it possibly can. And this time, probably a lot longer than King Icy was hoping for.
Man, I got to tell you, I can't stop looking and staring at the Archer Queen. I know I'm a married man, but that is a good-looking Archer Queen right there. I mean, she is attractive. That helmet, the cape, her hair.
The Gladiator Queen.
I mean, that mohawk thing on the helmet. I mean, she is just... I know, you know, some people might like the Barb King, but I'm a big fan of the Gladiator Archer Queen.
I think both of the new skins so far are really, really nice. I mean, this is kind of like a first look at the skin for the Barbarian or the Gladiator Queen, but we don't want to lose focus. Wait a minute. This attack is looking really good.
Queen, and here we go. King Icy just about to put down another 3-star.
This is looking very good. I mean, with those bowlers, if the bowlers can get this
the bowlers over the wall.
That's going to be it right there. Pekka will get the mine. Come on.
8 seconds. He's got it.
We got
There's a 3-star.
There's a 3-star for King Icy. That did not go according to plan, yet it was still a triple. That is a testament to how amazing that these attackers really are.
King Icy, beautiful 3-star right there. These guys, so excited to watch Zombie Doom, a virtual unknown, and they don't have the reputation that some of these other clans have of these extreme organizations or esports affiliations, and they come out and they put 3-star after 3-star down. King Icy icing this base while we're sitting there staring at the Archer Queen's helmet.
Whew, there you go. Well played. So I think both of us kind of like checked out. We're like, nah, I mean, everything went bad. Nothing went right in that attack. But, you know, that's also a huge testament to their patience, the attacker's patience. King Icy specifically holding his own, really trying to think his way through and use everything he had to pull out that triple. And now with Zombie Doom with 9 stars, they have definitely the advantage over Blaze.JP.
I am hoping personally that we get to see Itsu break down that attack, because that was definitely a gone wrong in the beginning attack that came back to be an amazing triple. Exciting to watch.
Absolutely. So Mulchi-kun, man, this attack is beginning here. He's got his king. He froze, or was it an ice golem that froze over the enemy king?
Yep,
I see that funnel set up there. You get a funnel both sides, force your troops to go in, especially if you're using troops. Oh, look at that, Galadon, you got yourself some Hog Riders.
Uh-oh, Hog Riders moving their way in here again. And this time this opening is going to be bowlers. They're going to get that Town Hall down for the 1-star to watch and see where that path is going to be set up for those Hog Riders to move in and clean up this base.
Well, he's doing a great job. I mean, he's got the Town Hall already, which the Giga Bomb is brutal. You've got the enemy Queen that goes down, and it looks like the troops may be able to survive all the way in and take out this Eagle Artillery. One of the biggest problems for a Hog attack. So there we go. If the Eagle down, it never shot off any shots, I don't think. The Hog Riders have a lot of room to go. But hey, all the key defenses are now down.
Well, check out the Archer Queen at the top of the screen. She's going to get that Inferno Tower down. That's going to be key right there. Remember, Inferno Towers no longer block healing like they did for so long against Hog Riders. Hog's getting the other Inferno Tower down. Slowly but surely it is out of here. And now there's still a big group of defenses up here at the top and no heal spells left, Klaus.
There's a lot of base left, but you know, that attack looked very, very nice indeed. That Hog group up there gets that Wizard Tower at the very end, but there's still a lot of point defenses in that Queen. She does still have her ability, which is huge, but is there too much base left? Ooh, and a giant bomb!
Oh man.
Man, that was
coming
untimely.
Out to meet her. The pair of Expos firing on her and the healers. Now they're both on the Queen. She cannot keep up with that damage, and now 68% the healer is going to be out here, and that's going to be it.
Wow.
Started out well, couldn't quite crack 70%. Again, Zombie Doom's bases, maybe the best bases that we've seen yet.
I happen to agree with you, Galadon. I mean, with Mulchi-kun, he was their first 3-star attacker. He wasn't able to crack 70%, so that's huge.
That is amazing. And now we get a look at the entire group right now. Queso, again, 21 stars leading the way with that triple backstage, but Zombie Doom right on their heels with 20 of their own.
Man, with all these wars coming so close to the end already, I mean, we're seeing here on the screen here, Blaze.JP has 2 attacks left, Zombie Doom has 1 attack left. So really coming close, and then of course it's the war behind the scenes also has only 1 attack apiece. So round 2 out of 4, yes, that's right, we're not even halfway done.
Exactly.
Round 2 out of 4 coming near to a close. We got a lot of attacks left, don't go anywhere. But yeah, the action is just cranking along nicely.
Remember, it is a round robin, meaning every clan you see today will face every other clan. And whoa, check out this base, Klaus. What the heck?
What is this?
That is, talk about unusual. Wow.
And notice, it's so funny. It's like as soon as I saw that, I'm like, ouch. That's like so anti Electro Dragon. But then I look at
then it's Electro Dragon.
He's got Electro Dragon. So I think that this is one of those cases where it's like a mind game.
Okay,
these guys are playing with each other.
Let me see if I'm right here. But if you send in this queen in the okay, that was what I was trying to say is you send in the Electro Dragons on the right-hand side after everything where it's really compact up here on the top right. Worry about this first, and then the cleanup maybe from the heroes will get that stuff around the back and the outside. At least that's what looks like King Tut is trying to do.
That's right, but unfortunately that Rage misses a bunch of those those Electro Dragons down there, so that's a little bit of a struggle. Okay, there's your second Rage, so that Town Hall should go down. There's your Warden's ability was used a long time ago, but they absorbed that Giga Bomb pretty nicely. Unfortunately, the King did die pretty early on, so the Queen's by herself. She pops her ability. I was about to freak out. No, ability missed, but no, we're good.
We got it.
And so this, like I was just saying, I think this base was specifically designed against Electro Dragons to make you think you can't use it.
Right.
It's like a mind game. So King Tut's like, well, I'm going to use Electro Dragons. Let's see how this actually defends. And it looks like it defended pretty dang well. I mean, no, it's a 2-star, but it's a pretty low 2-star.
I mean, this is a bold move. I'd be afraid to try a base like this on defense just because it feels like you could break down this base if you had the time and come after it with an attack that would just wipe it out. And 57%, another really solid defense right here from Mishi.
Man, so that's another 2-star. Lowest percentages that we've seen so far, coming in at the 50% mark. Still no 1-star fails, which is good. We don't want to see those.
That's great.
That's great. Good wording. It's great. We don't want to see those 1-star, but it may happen. But here we go. So with Lange and Shone attacking, I believe he's the final attacker for Blaze.JP. Gives us a thumbs up. He is ready to make it happen here.
All right, and it looks like Dark Unicorns has closed out their war on their side with all 2 stars. Team Queso still attacking, so that is just about to close as we watch Blaze.JP with their final attack against Zombie Doom. And Zombie Doom's bases, man, they have been some amazing ones to watch so far today.
And again, like you mentioned earlier, Galadon, I mean, these guys in Zombie Doom, they are not career players. Like, they have professional lives and family and limited time to play the game, yet they are so competitive, it seems, right now, especially against Blaze.JP. Zombie Doom finishing out with the 11 stars. If Blaze.JP cannot triple this attack, if this attack is not a triple, then Zombie Doom takes the cake.
And again, it's exciting to watch because, like I said, they represent so many of us that maybe don't have that time to play in a big organization or highly organized matches with your fellow clanmates. These guys carrying on their own busy lives at home and then putting together amazing bases and incredible 3-star attack strategy.
It was an amazing placement of that poison spell, Galadon. I mean, he covered almost every single lava pup. That's one of the biggest problems with the Lava Hound in the CC, is that those pups are just brutal. So that was really nice, very experienced attacker here with Lange and Shone, really watching out for the lava pups and getting that poison spell in there. But now look at that, we got some miners with this final attack here in round 2 out of 4.
I just wanted to point out they came in at a minute 45 left in this attack. So you can see the top is funneled a little bit with the P.E.K.K.A up there. Miners coming in right after that Town Hall. So they should be okay on time. It's a matter of whether or not they can get through the rest of this base, though. And there's your Barb King on the far side along with the Stone Slammer, Klaus.
There you go. That Stone Slammer is an absolute boss. It's good to see it being used in a different way. Normally that Stone Slammer is bringing in a bunch of other troops or maybe doing some taking for the main, but it was actually used to funnel. As you can see geometrically now, the miners have really nowhere to go but west. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to go west. They're going to charge on through here, probably go straight through that. You see that little Tesla and that sweeper right there in the middle and that Queen. That's where they're going to combine and then blast out the backside, trying to get into that Eagle Artillery.
Exactly. It's so critical with miners, even harder to predict pathing with miners than, say, Hog Riders for dropping a heal spell. Because at least with Hog Riders, they're going after defenses only, whereas with miners, they're going to go after any nearest building. And you saw a few go ahead for the top right there.
That's right. So unfortunately, all the miners seem to be out.
Those applause from Zombie Doom.
Yeah, it looks like Zombie Doom feels like they've won. It's not over yet. Speaking of who's won, Dark Unicorns has finished off the war behind the stage with 10 stars, Team Queso with 11, so Team Queso taking the victory behind stage. And with this attack coming to a close with 20 seconds left, it looks like we can almost pretty much call it for Zombie Doom taking the win here as well, 11-10.
It does look like it. Zombie Doom excited to watch their bases hold again and again And there's the healers getting fried again by that multi-target Inferno. Queen doing her best, but it looks like 86% is the best that's going to happen.
There you go. What Zombie doing with a superior percentage and stars.